The Distinguished Flying Cross is one of the highest honors bestowed in the United States for heroism and extraordinary achievement in aerial flight. Since the DFC was established in 1926, thousands of aviators have distinguished themselves under fire and in the line of duty. One recipient relates his experience.
It was the month of May 1969, and it was just north of Chu Lai in Vietnam. As we arrived over the site, the forward air controllers briefed us that there was a Marine recon unit trapped on the ground, completely surrounded by North Vietnamese regulars. They were in a desperate situation, running low on ammunition, and they wanted to extract them out of there, and they needed our help. The F-4 is a multi-purpose mission aircraft, air-to-air and air-to-ground. Our delivery speed is about 500 knots, and you have just a microsecond after you release to pull off, so you don't hit your own fragmentation or the ground or the terrain. The work was unusual because we were changing our run-in heading as we worked around the perimeter, and we were dropping within 50 meters or 150 feet approximately of the friendlies, so the accuracy had to be perfect. We were carrying napalm and snake eye, 500-pound snake eyes. A 500-pound snake eye going off at 150 feet from the friendlies is a rather big event for them. So they were told to keep their heads down, and we're coming in. We made single runs, so we have 12 pieces of ordnance, so that's 12 runs apiece. So we're diving in at low altitude, releasing at low altitude, about 500 feet off the ground, and then we were constantly having to come off, jink to avoid the ground fire that we were being told about by the forward air controller, and then reestablish our pattern for the next round. And of course, a big help in these is the radar intercept officer in the back, who is watching your dive angle, your airspeed, to help you make adjustments for the mark, and also to keep track of the wingman, the forward air controller, the terrain. And I don't recall if there was any weather that day, but if there was, they'd be watching the weather for you. In other words, just keeping your situational awareness at all the time, because you are so intensely involved in what you were doing, looking through that gun sight, that it's hard to keep track of everything else. So they played a significant role. And in fact, the radar intercept officers received DFCs for this mission also. So both crews got DFCs. And I don't know, but I hope the forward air controller got a DFC too. As we were leaving the target area, we were informed that the Marines could now be extracted safely by helicopter. So that was a very satisfying experience.
While this account is unique, each story is a selfless act of courage, bravery, and devotion. To honor its recipients and to recognize the importance of the award, the Distinguished Flying Cross Society was established in 1994 and currently has more than 3,300 members. To learn more about the Distinguished Flying Cross, contact the Distinguished Flying Cross Society